Hey, and welcome to day number 10 of the 25-day productivity challenge. You can find it all at 41more.com/challenge. Let me ask you a question. Are you busy or are you productive? Because they're not the same thing. A lot of us spend our days getting to the end of our days feeling like, whoa, I was so busy. The day never stopped. But then we think, but I didn't really get anything done. What did I do all day? Well, if you feel like that at the end of the day, it might be because you are multitasking instead of getting into deep work. And that's the topic of today's productivity challenge. So what is multitasking? Multitasking is flitting between all these little things that have to get done, but never going deep, just kind of skimming the surface. Like, I'm going to start this and I'm doing this and then I get distracted and then do this and this. And you can be super busy with multitasking all day and you might not get anything of consequence done. So if you get to the end of the year and don't reach your goals, is it because you're multitasking? Here's where that time blocking comes in really handy, which we talked about on a previous day in the productivity challenge. So if you haven't seen that video and learned about time blocking in 168 hours, you need to go check out those topics, and you can find them at 41more.com/challenge. So here's where time blocking comes in. Once you've blocked in specific time during your week to work on your goals, to work on that side business, to work on, you want to read certain amount of books this year, or maybe you're going back to school yourself, or you're building a business, or whatever it is, you name it. It can be anything. Whatever your goals are this year that you're working toward, you have to put time in every week toward them. And when that time is scheduled for that task, you get into a deep work mental flow. So that means, for example, on my business, if I decide okay, look, on Monday afternoon, after I'm done homeschooling, I am going to brainstorm the next 2 months of podcasts and maybe blog post topics. That means, okay, for 2 hours, what if I'm getting in this zone? I am doing really good work because I'm not being distracted. I'm not just like, oh, I'm going to do a little bit of this, and then I'm going to jump on Facebook, and then I'm going to run over and start cooking dinner. No, I've time blocked it, and that's all I'm focusing on. Because when you're in a zone, a mental flow zone, if you've ever had that happen, you know what great work you can do when you're focusing and you're concentrated for like an hour or so. You can't do it for 8 hours because your brain isn't going to be able to handle that, but you can do it for an hour or two. And then take a break, and then you're doing something else. But this is the way to get more done and actually be productive, because it's not enough to get stuff done. That's just being busy. A lot of us can multitask and we can just get a lot of little low-level stuff done, but we're not moving toward our goals. So I have a bunch of action steps for you, and I'm going to link to it in the blog post. But if you want to learn more about deep work and how to really get into a mental flow and mental zone and get your best work done, read Cal Newport's book called Deep Work. It's a very mind-boggling, mindset-changing book that I think you're going to love. And then also I want you to time block specific hours into your schedule, if you haven't already, to work toward your goals this year. So that's a little bit of deep work versus multitasking, and I hope that differentiation is helpful.